Hello and welcome to another scene of Orlando Ascended. Once again, at the, you know, usual house full of misfits, we find Jessie, Damian, and Cleia. And I guess it will start with Jessie looking to call someone, I think. So, let's go to Jessie.
Before anything happens, Jesse will go to Clea and go, please, please do not say anything that will, the thing I said, please. While we
Dude,
were like, um,
why are you telling me to not say things? Well, first of all, what? Don't say what to whom and why.
Mina,
Oh
remember her?
God!
Look,
Why are you
she's
telling
coming
me
here,
not to say
okay?
things so you don't tell her not to say things that bother me? Why is she more important
Just,
here?
uh, look, I just need like a couple of lessons, okay? Just
Well,
please.
if you can contain her.
Hey,
Oh, hey, bro. Well, if you can
hey,
contain
hey,
her,
Damien.
uh,
Um,
all out bitchiness about rules and stuff, and
we gotta learn this stuff.
I don't care about the stuff. I'm not a Hermes dude. You're a Hermes dude. I'm not. I
It's
like.
it's not just for Hermes. It's for everyone to learn, like the rules of Magic
Well,
World.
fuck the
I think
rules.
Yeah.
so.
Careful. Not because I wouldn't love to say fuck to everything and just go willy nilly and doing my shit, but we, I'm on the side of realism here as much as I hate it. That we are outnumbered by mages that will follow the rules and will hold us accountable to it. As I said again, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying having to take their side in this story, but I just want to point out we don't want to navigate ourselves into a position where they can then just start running roughshod around us or on us
Well,
or over us.
I mean,
Hell
we
you say?
survived so far without knowing the rules.
Okay, okay. Well, what about this? What if I tell you we're going to learn the rules so we can break the rules? At least we'll know about the rules so you can break them. Oh, how about that?
Jesse,
Good
not
point.
fucking fair, dude.
What? We gotta learn it somehow. It would be
Well,
useful. At least just one
Well,
lecture, please. I beg
whatever. You
you.
can do
Just
whatever the
one.
fuck you want with her. I'm
I'll
going to go to
I'll
my room now. No.
I'll I'll like buy you all the weed you
I can
want and
buy
like
my own weed.
cook
Stop
you
bribing
anything.
me.
I can like uh
Stop being a
um
subby worm and stand
I
up for
can buy
yourself, dude.
I can buy you a new bike.
I don't need a new bike. My bike's perfect.
I can buy you something you want. Just look, we
Just
just need
just
the
just
lesson.
take
Just
her to
one,
your room
please.
and you can do whatever lessons you want and I'll be in my room and we'll be fine. I don't need to attend, do I?
What if I like uh give you like a camera that you could like watch in your garage so you can at least hear?
You're being a creep now.
What? It's you gotta learn.
I don't have to learn from her. Like, look, dude,
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
a
okay,
Hermes
okay,
people. I don't do things the way you do
okay. So
things,
Of
okay?
traditions, because this is pertaining to, at the very least, every one of the traditions. And even if I'm currently technically a disparate, there is an initiation ritual standing to be done. So I probably should
so
hear that one as
Well,
well. Mind you, when
so
it comes to the hermetic stuff itself, I can always leave
like,
the room.
seriously, if you, do you think it's a good idea right before you have to do the thing for you to get more stressed out with fucking rules upon rules and everything?
I
Right?
think it's actually stressing Jesse more out that he doesn't know the rules.
No, I was talking about you. When Jesse, he can learn the rules because he's a Hermes person and she's a Hermes person, and if that's what they do, that's what they do. I don't see why I have
Ding
to.
Uh,
dong.
I
okay,
think she's
anyway,
here simply.
everyone on position. Everyone on position,
Mm,
and Damien goes to open the door. Good evening.
Good evening. She has two cakes.
Please enter. And he opens the door.
She does enter.
And he closes the door.
Um,
And, yeah.
hello, ma'am. Did you have any trouble finding our
she's
house?
been here before.
Oh, all right. Um,
Well,
uh,
you were not here.
I did not have any. I did not have any trouble finding this house, Jesse. But thank you for asking. This is cakes for you all, and she puts the cakes into the. You know,
thank you.
this is low. This is a diet one for you if you wish to eat a diet cake.
Damien this time was prepared, and he takes out a Sharpie and puts diet on the paper.
It's you don't have to eat it, but if you choose, I just offered it to make sure
Okay,
you
I have
have
a
choices.
question. Do you spend all of your time baking cakes?
Cleia, what are you
What is
doing?
that question? What the hell?
Don't be rude.
Why is it rude? I'm 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 genuinely curious about it.
I am not spending all my time making cakes now.
Okay.
And also, while I do cakes, I can read things as well.
I don't know. I never made a cake, as
Understandable.
far as I know, at least. Who knows?
The I was invited here, so here I am, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank
Um,
you for coming.
no problem. Any way I can help?
We would like for you to help us understand the 8 protocols that you were talking about in the park, and anything that you think would be very useful for us to know.
The Jesse, I asked around. Are you an apprentice of Order Hermes? Like the
Uh, I am.
That's good to know. Okay. The he actually the Mina kind of smiles and then looks at Damien. Damien, would you like to learn about protocols as well?
I would love to, because just for clarification, it turned out that back where I came from, they hadn't done the initiation ritual properly. So turns out I was calling myself a Verbena while I was still an orphan. So just for the short time until the ritual has been done by the Hierophant, I officially count as a disparate. But yes, please, please.
You are
I need to know these things before I put my foot anywhere where it'll be chewed off.
the he she turns to Clea
Clea
says
will
you wish
pull
to
out
learn
an
as well.
iPod from her pocket and put the earbuds in her ears. Sit on the couch, spread legs on the table,
I'm.
and say, "Yeah, please do go on."
I'm sorry. By the way, ma'am,
For what?
for her, for for Clea's behavior.
You don't need to be sorry for her behavior. It's completely okay. I'm not the
I'll
one who is choosing to be this way.
hmm, anyway, I'll try to. Who knows? Maybe if it comes from me later on, she might be more receptive to it.
The I have learned that she is a meteorite and not an orphan. Therefore, it's up to her to choose to
Of
be.
course,
It's up to her to be choose it. Know the traditions that know the protocols that she will be judged upon in the future.
Damien
Because
nods. And he pulls out his notebook, puts it nicely in front of him, uh, licks the pen, and looks attentively, like a
Mhm.
schoolboy waiting a
Did you just
diktat.
lick the pen?
Yes.
Why? Dude.
Let's just continue with the scene. I'll
No, that's
explain
in
it to you
character.
afterwards. Ah, old habit? I thought you weren't interested.
Future people are weird.
Whatever. Back to topic.
The so in 1466, the Council of the Nine become official. Basically, all the traditions came together and said, "Hey, how about we, you know, become traditions?" General ranks and their ranks, general titles and their ranks are standardized. And at the time, it was like Lieutenant Toy, Celestial Chorus, Dream Speakers, Order of Hermes. There was some other people that I don't remember. And Verbana was in the nine traditions. The current ones joined after. Um, Basically, they accepted like there should be some type of rules that we all commonly have, and they decided on the protocols. So there are 8 rules. They're kind of quite simple. Respect those of greater knowledge is the first one. Um, if you guys want, like I can go into detail about each and every single one of them.
That would be useful, ma'am.
I
Please,
take it. Oh, pardon me.
just don't call me man, please. I'm Mina.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Okay,
it's
Mina.
like a habit.
Hey, Barbie. Do you see? Mm,
Um,
look at my
so
hands.
basically, respect, those of greater knowledge. This is presented as a common sense. Um, as far as I know, like these are like all common knowledge, but this may be changed into like this change can change into city to city. Like if you like do one of them in one city, you may not get a punishment. As far as I know, this may change into um, city to city, but like I am just going to tell you how I was taught as a general rule. Like the protocols, like respect those of greater knowledge, is like exists everywhere, but like the punishments you may get may be different in a city to city. So respect those of greater knowledge. This is again common sense. The egregious displays of disrespect may lead to formal, punishments or warnings. Generally, like the consequences of the disrespect is left to offended party. So if I disrespect or like a member of the Urbana Chantry, the traditions may decide that it's just going to be her who decides his punishment.
Right? So it doesn't travel from, for example, like what do you call it? Sure. Out of character. What was that group that like internet police international crime? Uh, Fudge. That helps like gap. Like for example, god damn it.
Technocracy?
It was in Deus X2, and I can't remember the name of the freaking. Ugh.
I don't remember what you're talking about, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Jason, do
Go
you know
on.
what he talks about?
It's escaping me, but yeah.
Is it like technocracy people or?
No, it's like real life. Crap. I'm sorry. Go on. I'll remember it.
Okay,
Yeah, let's just continue.
so basically, again, like if I let's say disrespect the had Masters of Verbana here, they may not say anything, but they may say They may say things. It depends on maybe them or the city to city. This can change. So the second rule is the tutor's debt must be repaid. Um, Basically, like from what I know, Hermetic colleges expect tuition after every semester. Students who miss the payment are suspended from classes until they pay up. But like in some places, there are free classes as well. So it's again a rule that changes the city to city as well.
Found it. Interpol.
Oh, these are Interpol aren't.
Hmm?
I don't. I.
There's,
So what do
is
you mean by the Interpol?
like if you're like in the if you commit a like a disrespect someone from a different city, where they'll be like, will they tell every the other cities about the crimes you've done?
Oh, I'm not sure. I have seen
Mm,
it being done. I have seen it not done. So therefore, again, changes to city to city.
mm, okay.
Now, basically, uh, the third rule is the tutors. No, mage's word is their honor. Break not to sworn a vow. So, like,
Like, yeah, like in the good old days, your word is your
yeah,
bond. If you break your word, you break your bond, and you can't be trusted. As simple as that.
yeah. Um, like,
Did he eat
just don't break your
his
word. It may
turkey?
be weird.
Did he eat your turkey?
So, will of an oracle must be obeyed. This is the fourth rule. Now, few wizards believe existence of oracle these days. I am one of them. I still believe the oracle exists.
With Oracle, could I ask for a clarification? So, anyone who has a vision and spurts it out has to be followed?
Oh no. So she takes a deep breath and then says, "The oracle is a legendary individuals that are ascended."
Oh,
Oh, wait, you mean like the Keeper,
I
more
don't know.
colloquially known as Merlin. He ascended and came back.
Yes. Merlin, I think,
Oh,
is a Verbana legend, and
yes,
he did
yes.
ascended, as far as I
Uh,
know.
he did, and then he came back, and I can attest to it, for I have met him. And I met him no less when I was an orphan. It was quite the honor. Okay, good to know. I've met an oracle, and he's got that. He notes it
By
down.
the way, Clea will
Um,
be looking over the shoulder of Damien to the notes. And he looks at the date that it's written there. Is like shaking her head, rolling eyes, going back down. We're supposed to be following rules that were done like 5 centuries ago. Sheesh.
You can comment and snipe when the lesson is done, but please let us have that.
Fine.
Thank you for your understanding.
the betray not your cabal or your chantry. This is a very serious offense. You may get be branded or like ostracized by the society if you betray your cabal and chantry.
If I remember correctly, circle is also a word used for
Yes, Verbana.
some. Okay, it's okay. Good to know. Urbana specific.
Basically, so just don't, be a betrayer. It's quite simple. The sixth one is don't conspire with the enemies of the Ascension.
All
Those
right, here comes the juicy part. We'll need a list of all beings that count as such.
those caught
Just an
conspiring with
fun.
technocracy, marauders, or other enemies. This is an open interpretation. Other enemies are an open interpretation. It changes city to city, but the technocracy and marauders aren't.
I've heard of the technocracy, but I don't think I've ever heard of the marauders.
Marauders are the mages who lost themselves and they're not affected by the. She takes a deep breath. Their reality.
Oh,
They just shape the world however they see fit.
Rumor has it they are even able to use paradox to a certain extent against their enemies. However, if that is true, I don't know. I've never seen them do that.
are they worse than the Nefandi?
They are probably equally as bad. The ones have inverted avatars and want to descend. That's already very bad. And the others, well, they've lost themselves. I'll put it that way. I think you slowly have an idea of what mages are able to do, Jesse.
Mhm.
Just mull on the fact what if you have somebody who's a raving lunatic with our powers?
Like Jack the Ripper, or no, Deacon Frost.
For yeah, exactly. For example,
Now, the if a mage is found conspiring with an enemy, there may be sentenced to branding, ostracism. If a mage is fined being an affundi, the punishment is increased into gilgul or death. So I asked you guys what is do you guys if you guys know what is gilgul, but you guys said no. Would you
correct.
guys? Gilgul is it's she takes a deep breath because like this is kind of a weird thing for her to explain. It's a rite, it's a ritual that permanently separates mage from their avatar, destroying both mage's ability to do magic or reincarnate. So don't find, don't be an Afandi. It's very simple.
Are reincarnations bad?
No, reincarnation isn't bad. Reincarnation is believed by many traditions.
Uh,
Being an Afandi is bad.
yes, it. Although I would like to add something, I can't say in what day and what date that happened, but one of my comrades, he, let's just say there was so much stranger energy going about that he managed to close a portal, but in the process his avatar was inverted. So I hope that at least on the rare case when it really isn't the fault of the mage, that one might at least try and, how should I say, reinstate the avatar if something like that is even possible.
The so again, like the other enemies are open to interpretation, so it changes to city to city. Keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
The the seven one is the protect the sleepers. They are ignorant of what they do. This is a custom. Those who endanger the sleepers are frowned upon by most mages.
I better hope so.
It's basically ostracism or some other branding can be a permanent like a punishment, or they can be a tribunal where they defend themselves.
There's, I like that rule protocol.
All of these protocols are kind of common sense anyway. The lastly is that be subtle in your arts, least sleeper know you for what you are. Basically, the rule of shade. Don't do fireballs on streets.
And don't blurt out that you're a mage in the middle of the museum.
Yes,
Just to give a hands-on example.
you. I think that you thought she was something, and that's why you said it to her, or you were just surprised. But you know,
Yeah, she caught me off guard and insulted me quite heavily, and yes, that, and I didn't know about the protocols, so I let the worst angels of my nature get the better of me.
What if, is it okay if, like, a werewolf or a a changeling know?
Oh, she was of the Garu nation. That is quite true, but it still was a mistake because there were sleepers around.
to me, the least people knows about you, even from the other nations or vampires or whatever, it's the for the better. But that's my own opinion. That's why I don't tell people how do I do things, and that's why I was extremely uncomfortable when we were talking with that stupid vampire.
Let's just say it hadn't been my first dealings with, and then when I say dealings, it was more coming across them and figuring out how to confront them. You know, make it clear that we weren't prey and that we weren't just going to cower. But everyone has a different way of approaching it.
I agree. The all I underline this. As far as I know, all tradition mages needs to follow these rules. And those who says I don't follow these rules, when they break it, they may face problems.
Mhm. Don't mind Clea, she's just being a bit stubborn.
Pardon?
Don't mind Clea, she's just being a bit stubborn.
She's individualistic to a fault.
Then what
I've got
she's
the feeling with, pardon me,
no. You go right ahead.
I've got the feeling with time and the proper, how should we say, the proper wording, we just might be able to convince her. But before I try to do that, I'll get all my arguments in order and probably also try to get some good examples.
The rules creates order. Those who doesn't want any rules creates only chaos. At least this is my opinion, but as I said, most of these rules are kind of common sense.
It is very useful to know what we can and cannot do now, especially with all this weird stuff happening in Orlando.
I should probably give Miami a visit just to see if, how should I say, get an idea for the levels of craziness that one might encounter in cities. Unless it is taboo territory, please enlighten me.
Which I didn't understand what you mean to do.
Are we done yet?
Almost. Anyway, that's actually less important. I've got a question. I remember in, let's just say, my late mentors. I think that makes the most sense. In my late mentor's notes, there was something about ranks, or how mages can, how should I say, rank themselves in comparison to their peers. And he produces a very old looking, very battered leather notebook with arcane symbols on it. From the decorations and everything, any hermetic with a little bit of experience will automatically see, yeah, that's a hermetic's notebook.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. And he opens it up on the 13th page. I just wanted to cross-reference with you if these are still up to date. First rank, initiate.
The first rank is actually neophyte.
Okay, he just adds to the notes beside equals neophyte.
The second rank is basically these are kind of Order of Hermes ranks, though. That these are not verbena
Oh,
ranks.
are there any ranks that are cross-traditional?
I am
Because
not sure.
after, I had something here: initiate, apprentice, disciple, adept, master. I'll ask somebody else.
Yeah, I know the ranks in the Order of Hermes, but not in the outside of it. I was purely raised in Order of Hermes by
It's
my family.
it's it's fine. It's fine. Actually, come to think of it, this will be very useful for our good friend Jessie here. So, okay, what would be the second rank for Hermetic?
The second rank is Zealot or Zealoter.
Hmm.
It's a person who's trained before their awakening.
Oh, okay, okay, interesting.
The third degree is the Practicus.
Practitioner.
Basically, it's the basic the person who is like had their awakening, like is going to have their awakening. Right before that, you're Practicus, and the fourth one is going to be Initiate, which is basically someone who achieved their first rank in forces.
Oh, wait a
Sphere
sec.
of forces.
Initiate, first
Initiate.
dot in a sphere. That is covering with what I have. What
Mhm.
next?
The Then the Initiate Exemptus, where you take like another sphere other than forces. Adeptus is the when you are getting like a sphere in third rank. Adeptus Major is the fourth rank, and a third another one, and any one in another one. Magister Schola is full mastery of one sphere, and third in the another one. And then there was the Magister Mundi, which is the achievement of arch mastery in one sphere, and then the 10th, achievement of when you ascend, you become an oracle. So you become an oracle.
What is the probability? What is the probability of actually becoming an oracle?
It depends when you or how you ascend.
Does it happen often?
No,
Ascension? Oh,
Ascension itself is rare enough, and from what I heard, those that ascend, even of those, only a tiny amount ever come back, and that's why they're so special.
where did they go?
Ah, I think that's the biggest question for any mage who wishes to ascend. Where and to what do we ascend? Everyone has a different answer to that one.
Hmm. What is the probability of us ascending into our own plane that we create? A pocket dimension of some sort.
I don't know about pocket dimensions or if a shard realm counts as a pocket dimension, but I know that shard realms can be created by mages and don't have to ascend to be able to do that.
Ascension is a weird topic for me. I'm not very sure. But as far as I know, only few does it. But you just become something else when you ascend. I think your friend is going to be very bored, so we can end the discussion here and talk later.
Hmm. Thank you.
No problem. If you want
Thank you.
to know more about the Order of Hermes, you can always come to me and I can teach you more.
Thank you very much.
Do
Mm.
you
I've recently just awoken, so I barely know anything.
do you know forces?
Yes, I've been taught how to use Latin to cast spells and how to control fire.
I am planning on teaching him how to turn mundane objects into objects that can. How should I describe it? It's not just lethal damage, it's downright aggravated. I'm planning to show him how to do that with his prime. And if it works out and I can make myself understood to him, I'll also try to teach him how he can make a weapon incorporeal enough that it can hurt wraiths.
So,
My
so Jesse,
Yes, I've heard from Professor Perkins that it would be hard to teach someone that knows a different paradigm than you.
it's next to impossible as far as I know, but Professor would know better than I do. The worldview of Urbana and Hermetics are way different. As any other tradition, their worldview is just different. The way we
Who
see
knows?
world from Urbana is different. Yeah.
Mm,
Who knows?
sometimes I'm not even sure. Hmm. Yeah, paradigms are weird. Who knows? Maybe I'm just weird since I uh, come to think of it during my long time as an orphan. Um, I seem to have taken pieces of the Hermetics, pieces of the Chakravanti, beg your pardon, Euthanatos, and also incorporated a few others inside. Some of them without even knowing, but uh, it's at least worth a try. And if not, at least I can say that I tried to help my mates. I would hate to think that they would get hurt just because I was too lazy to at least try and teach them some very, very basic combat magic.
It's okay. I've been learning how to um, sculpt fire to my will.
And that is impressive. Still, in the worst case, I might be able to help you create your own wand.
I think his wand will be given by the Order of Hermes.
Ah, beg your
Every
pardon,
no,
Fukai.
no,
I
no, it's
meant to
completely
say
okay.
Fukai.
Every mage who joins Order of Hermes gets a wand.
My mentor, Samuel Perkins, did not give me a wand. He only gave me this. He pulls out a red lighter covered in runes. He said it will help with fire controlling it. You-
Gotcha.
Well, yeah. And I know better than to ask how hermetic wands are created.
She doesn't say anything to that. I think our conversation is over, and you guys can tell your friend that it's over.
Yeah. And he makes a sign to Cleia that she can pull out her earphones.
Oh, we done? Good.
Yeah.
I was about to fall
yeah,
asleep.
you should probably at least have listened to at least one of them.
Well, I already listened to what she said at the park. What else is there to, you know?
Well, uh, I'll be right back. Then I'll go get some plates. Jesse's gonna take the cake and try to serve it to everyone.
Thank you. Out of character, what is Emma's um, family name again?
Mina?
Beg your pardon, Mina's family name again?
Ardent.
Ardent. Um, Miss Ardent. No, sorry. Mia. My mistake. Mea culpa. Um, has it? Well, I know that I have come across Iro, and he is of two traditions. I wanted to pick your brain on the concept of mages who might seek to learn from two traditions.
There's a mage with two traditions.
Actually, there's more than one.
Who are those? I never heard this before.
Really?
Iro, for example, he
And
is a
also.
Verbena and a, just a sec, of the Akashic Brotherhood. There we go.
Well, my babysitter is also.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know who's your babysitter.
Uh, Jesse, what's his name again?
Uh, Chris something. Uh,
Okay, 17, let me 17. Auburn. Yeah, Auburn.
Mr. Chris Auburn. He is a hermit. He's one of us, and I think one of the people who talks to dead people.
Yeah, he's
Ah,
euthanatos, mostly.
well, people who talk to the dead, it could be Euthanatos, but it could also be the Dream
No, he's
Speakers.
euthanatos.
The
Okay, there we go.
I never understand. I'm not gonna say never, but I don't understand this term. I think there's only maybe their paradigm is enough to be educated by the two of them. But I didn't knew traditions take other people. I think it's strange to have loyalties to two different places. Like we all traditions, we work together, but at the same time, we all have secrets that we keep from each other. So
Hmm.
I think it is weird for someone to have two traditions, and I think it would be better, much better, to be in one tradition.
Hmm. Hmm. How to put it?
The
How
more
to
you
word
know,
it?
right?
I'm merely asking because my late mentor was of the Hermetics. It might have been a splinter group, but he was of the Order of Hermes. But let's just say from the place I came from before, things were at least three notches crazier than they are here, and as a let's just say as a precaution and a way to survive. A verbal offer was given, and I decided at that point that it would be better for my survival to join the Verbena. Although I have to say, every time I see the Hermetics go through their processes and their rituals, I mean those that they do make privy, I'm seeing a lot of things that I understand, and I'm also seeing a lot of things that I don't, and I see you fellows use your magic with a certain degree of confidence, clarity. There is a clear structure to it. And then I see myself with my cobbled together practice, for the lack of a better word. And I've just got the feeling that I've come across a great stone and I want to break it and go forward and also have some clarity. But it, I would love to give you all the details, but I have to see that I don't divulge too much, since that will have grievous consequences for me, as in physical consequences.
It's up to you. I don't want to do. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. But
It's of a metaphysical nature.
I think if you understand Order of Hermes better, then you should join Order of Hermes.
Mm,
You should stay in a place where your belief is more attuned to, and not the places where you feel they just invited
obliged.
me. Yes, obliged. That's the correct wording.
Oh,
To be honest, if you want to learn, I don't mind teaching.
but you could only do that if I were of the Hermetics.
If you appreciate, if you get the willingness of our master, and if our master sees me fit to teach you our paradigm and our way of doing things, then yeah, why not?
I would love to. My plans are less for power for myself, but it is more being able to protect those that are dear to me and those that I'm honor bound to protect. Let
I'm
alone
pretty
if I
sure.
manage to strengthen myself, I can also safeguard people from better from the. And he takes a deep breath from the machinations of devils, demons, and other foes.
I'm pretty sure Professor Xavier will allow it. At least you can try. After all, we are doing all this stuff for him with the Jack the Ripper stuff and Deacon
Uh,
Frost,
Bullet,
Death
I
House.
can't understand what you're saying. You're muffled.
Ah, shit. Sorry. How
You
about
can
now?
take
Same
it out of
thing.
your mouth.
You're better now. Please
Okay,
repeat.
so maybe I'm pretty sure Professor Xavier will allow you at least allow you to try. I mean, after all, we are doing all this stuff for
Wait,
him
wait,
to
wait. Does
be.
that require a strange ass initiation like the other dudes want, or what?
In the end, he will put to a test by his master. This may be Xavier. This, if Xavier allows me, this may be me.
And what does that entail exactly?
Oh, we will just duel to death.
That's a joke, right?
Wait,
Of
what?
course it is. I said we will just duel to death with our wands.
Just like Harry Potter.
Well, I wouldn't bet on you, Missy, because you will have backup.
That's not what a duel is, though.
Says who?
Hmm.
Mina's eye kind of fixed on Clea when she says it.
A duel is like an agreement between two people that they will fight each other without
It's
cheating
not
or
cheating if someone objects.
getting back up.
It's just
Hmm.
intervention.
It's
Um. Quick question: would it be insulting if I would try to describe my paradigm to you, Mia?
Mina's eyes were fixed on Clea, and then they slowly turn, and she smiles again to Damien and says, "No,
Right. Well, let's start with the basics. What do I think is a magi? A magus, a mage. Um, First, to the general condition of humans, I am of the opinion that they have, at the very least, a drop of the divine in them, that which makes their soul. Then you have the ego or the mind that wraps around that, which allows us to sort of make sense of the world around us. And then there is the body, the vessel in which this drop of divinity is put in. Most sleepers are not aware of their actual potential, and that's why they go from cradle to grave, just being that, sleepers, not knowing that their subconscious thoughts, dreams, hopes, desires, and fears feed into the great unconscious, or part of the tellurium, the weave of reality. Mages, through different experiences, some through a traumatic event, some through slow and careful study, some through a combination of both, awaken. As far
This
as
is
yeah.
this is very. Like, sorry for cutting you off. I really apologize, but like this is. I think you are trying to tell us everything, but like
Mm,
I see the problem because it should be very easy for you to explain.
mm,
It should be like couple sentences, and then oh,
mm.
at that time you know you're ready. When it's
I see.
complicated, when it's complicated, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's problem. Now where I see where you come from because you are having a hard time explaining your paradigm to us.
So what's
Yes.
yours?
I am not going to share it.
That, on the other hand, just asking somebody about that is impolite, as I learned the hard way. Uh, he
Why though?
he looks a bit sheepishly
Why
away.
though?
Why don't you tell us?
I have no problem telling you.
Okay.
My personal, way of doing things has to do with technology. So, yeah. Technology and science holds all the answers. And that's that.
Okay.
I mean, I've been very forthcoming, but you're being very secretive.
Yeah, I'm. She thinks for a second.
Like, at the very least, explain to me why is it so difficult to share something like that. Like, oh,
It's because certain beliefs doesn't mesh well with each other.
so yeah, sure. Most of what you people say sound gibberish to me. That doesn't say much. Everyone's different. I can accept that.
She is still thinking, and then she looks at Jesse. Would you like to explain?
Um, I I don't. I have been taught that every word has power to them. Words are weapons, can be used for a shield. That's what I've been told.
The she's like thinking still. I command the keys of the universe. This can be through arcane rituals, through constant study, or intense practice. The world is shaped in my enlightened will.
I have been told that we are basically um, the wielders of the etch a sketch of the universe, and only we are the ones allowed to touch the knob of the etch a sketch.
Hmm.
Only we are the ones allowed to do what, sorry?
To turn the knobs of the etch a
Who's
sketch.
we?
Mages.
Hmm.
Mm,
And I always was of the opinion that we are, for the lack of a better word, minor gods.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, the only sad truth is that technically every other human is as well. They are just not clued into it.
Well, doesn't matter how godly you think you are. If you mess with reality too much, reality will still fuck you up.
Because all the sleeping gods think that they are mortal.
What about Merlin? Does he still like get hurt from paradox? Even though
That
you
I
said
couldn't say. I never saw it attack him.
they are technically gods, the ascended, would they be omniscient and know if they know how to counter the paradox?
The I think we need to ask this question to
Yeah, why
Merlin.
don't you call him and ask? I'll make sure I won't be there.
Are you always this bitchy?
Only with people who are mean.
I was never mean to you.
Was I bitchy to you right now?
Yes, you
How
were.
so?
You were a couple days ago as well.
Whatever.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
thank you
No
for the
problem.
cake as well. It's really good.
It is not a problem. I will do it again if we ever meet. I think we will meet. Ever meet was a stupid thing to say. But if there's anything I can do for you two, please let me know. And Damien, I would be very happy to explain it more if you can get the permission of Master Xavier.
I would like so too. Well, this evening I'll be off to meet the Hierophant since I have some pertinent information for her. But don't worry, soon enough that information should be shared with the rest of the traditions.
What's
Even if I'm, this is
what's
going to
this
be
information?
complicated. I'm not at liberty to say at this moment.
I'm really sorry, sad to hear it. Well, see you all later.
Yeah,
She gets up.
Yeah, Jesse will
they,
follow,
yeah,
lead you to the door.
good.
Thank you again. You can visit if you as much as you want, if you want to.
I sadly will say that I won't visit.
Thank you again.
If there is a business, I will come, but I don't think I will visit here.
Great.
Fair enough.
She smiles very nicely and slowly gets up, takes her, bag. After one last nod, she will leave.
Bye.
Safe
Thanks again.
travels. Whew. I've got myself in a right fine pickle, haven't I?
Yeah.
Why?
Dahlia's not gonna like this.
Okay, let's
Like
let's let's
what?
let's talk this through, okay? Like seriously.
Agreed. Agreed. That's very
Cuz
sensible. Yes.
you have to do what you want to do. Like don't give a fuck what like Dahlia will think or what this Mina will think. Who gives a fuck? You know? You got to do what you know, what's good for you, man, you know?
If this were Dublin, I wouldn't even have considered it because for those people, I would have chopped my hands off and happily thrown them in the fire for them.
What?
But it's a
Why?
figure of speech. It's a figure of speech, Jesse.
I mean, you never know what the verbena girl you said they wanted you to kill a dude.
Um, at least with those verbena, it was clear no human sacrificing.
Does it mean that you can sacrifice a
But
cat or a dog or a bird or something? Cuz that's even worse.
that's what he looks at you. How would sacrificing a goat be worse than sacrificing a
I
It's
didn't
sentient
say
being?
goat, I
Please
said
explain
cat or
that to me.
dog.
she just thinks cats are and dogs are better than people.
Well, they
Ah,
objectively are,
ah.
generally speaking.
Let's just agree to disagree on this one. But yes, yes. But I, uh, how should I say? I feel very drawn to the Order of Hermes. It's almost a gut
Look, is it
feeling.
because of your, professor dude guy? Or do you feel that the way you think is fitting with them more? Because I'm not
I
sure.
I mm-hmm, mm, I for example, I don't. Well, to be fair, first of all, I didn't see many of the rituals that the Verbena do, so that's that. The way I do magic, just from side glances, I've been able to throw on how Verbena and how the Order of Hermes does it. I would have to say my style is similar, closer to the Order of Hermes than it is for the
From
Verbena.
what I'm understanding, the two of them are pretty similar, though, aren't they? I know that the Verbena people are very different from, like, me, for example,
Oh, definitely.
but with the Order, I don't know. I mean, they seem to get along.
I
I
well,
can
I
I can
do
kind of
work.
see the
Sorry.
similarity. I can kind of see the similarity between the way you do magic and some order of these people. Like with Davia, she also does weird
Is it
drawing
drawings or
and
equations?
with equations. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, and by the
Equations.
way,
And
Damien, would you mind giving me one of your chalks? Because I kind of want to solve them, and I can't.
Oh, yes, sure, sure. And he hands you two
Oh,
pieces of chalk
thanks, mate.
here, so that you have some
Thank
reserve.
you.
A good maid should never go out of the house without some chalk.
it's kind of like your with runes or uh, alchemy circles. The way she does things.
Yeah. That's why when I saw Octavia do her thing, of course she was using equations, but also the odd occult symbol, and some of them looked very, very similar to my runes, my 9 runes of
Well,
power,
here's the thing,
as I
though.
like to call them.
I don't know. Are Hermes people like Octavia or are they like Mina?
So I mean, I'm kind of like Mina, I guess. except I
Because
use
we like
words.
Octavia, but Mina is too serious and too rulesy, and
I don't
she
know.
doesn't like me.
I don't know if I'm even. I've never seen her cast magic, so I have no clue.
Mm,
Yeah, but
well,
But
I
I've
know that
seen
Octavia is
Octavia.
cool.
yes.
Octavia's magic is definitely more like Damian's. It's nothing like the
You
way I
have
do it.
something in your mouth or on your microphone.
God
Yeah,
damn it. Okay, how about now?
better.
Okay. The things are, I know that if you're able to get the right name of let's say a spirit, you're able to get power over it. I am also aware that there seems to be a specific language. Some people have referred to it as Enochian. Others have referred to it as the first tongue. But I've got the feeling if I were at the very least able to speak that, and I would be more able to use the true names of things. And true names, oh, those have power. Those have some real power
Like,
behind
what
them.
exactly qualifies as a true name? Because that's something like I really, really don't understand. Like, do people have like fake names? And then, I suppose I don't know if my name is real. Mm.
Well, I once approached somebody on the subject of true names. They said it's not necessarily the name that your parents give you at your birth or what people call you most currently. It's a true name seems to be a description of your very most utter nature, soul, aspects like that. So
So,
as somebody
So,
described it, it probably would be like a bitch ass long sentence like, he who sits by the pond pondering the wounds of the earth
so
while, and
your
so on
true
and
name
so
is not the
forth.
name
You
assigned
know,
to you, but
very,
the name that describes you.
no. How, yeah. However, giving a devil, for example, your birth name is often enough, still enough for them to starting being able to fuck
Okay,
around
so
with
how
you.
do you know
like
And I'm
that
not
my
talking about.
vampire
real name?
in the basement.
I don't know what my name is.
Do you. What if.
The very few mages actually know their true names, and some of them even go to quite the long lengths never to learn it because mind magic exists, or the sphere of mind exists, and the reading of minds. So, last thing you want to do is think about that, and then somebody else who's reading your mind catches that and uses it. Because as soon as they have your true name, they can command you to do anything, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Is using true names kind of like using the words of power that the Order of Hermes have taught me?
Yes, but instead of that being the true names of spirits, think if you, for example, had my true name, and with that you could command me to do anything, I would be unable to do anything
That is
against that. Or
scary.
you could even then use my real name to change my nature. For example, you could turn me into a rabid racist, for
That
example.
sounds like you have the script of reality and you can just scrub a few words for it.
Yes, think that somebody has given you the ink deleter, and you have the possibility of then writing whatever the hell you want
This whole
over it.
conversation is hurting my brain. True names, devils, demons, words. Like, that's too much info. What do I do with all that?
In the worst case, note it down and slowly digest it bit by bit.
Do you think Darren would get mad if I asked him about it?
I To be fair, you're really new at this, so you definitely have the what we used to call
What do you want to
the
ask?
newbie bonus.
Through
Names?
names. What better person to ask than the one who deals in
I can't
names and
hear what you're
this
saying.
kind of
Like you're
stuff?
muffled as fuck.
God damn it!
I don't
Why the
know.
fuck is it always doing that? What better way to ask to learn than to
Who's
ask the
dealing with
one
this
who's
kind of
dealing with
stuff?
this kind of stuff?
How do you know?
Aaron, because it's kind of judgmental, but you
Like,
know,
I haven't seen him deal with any of this stuff, so I don't know where you're getting that. Mm. I think you're hanging out. I think you're hanging out with this Mina too much.
stereotypes. No, I've only met
Mm.
her twice.
Well, three times too much, I
Well, three
guess.
times. It's just the stereotype, okay? Like fallen angels, demons, and they like soul and
Yeah,
stuff.
angels exist.
Yeah, but I mean,
I met Gabriel.
Wait, what?
By the way, Gabriel is a chick, not a
who?
guy. The people in
Because
the Bible get it wrong.
Saint Gabriel, the one that has the war
Archangel.
trumpet,
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
hmm.
is like the third child, the third angel, like Lucifer, Saint
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael, Gabriel.
Yeah. Exactly. That
Yeah.
one.
Does that mean God is real?
I wouldn't be able to answer that question. That is way above my pay grade
What?
and my understanding. That's what I meant. It's
Uh,
beyond my
Wait, does that
comprehension.
mean hell is real? Wait, there's a fallen
It's
angel,
it's
so
more
that has to be real.
complicated. It's more
well,
complicated than they describe it in the Bible.
yeah, but
But the underworld exists, although it is closer to
yeah,
the
but
heathen
is it like?
underworld, quite frankly.
Should I ask Taryn about it? I don't know.
Ask him what? The
I don't
hell? Or
know.
like
You're the one who says things
Archangel
about.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
The
I mean, I
soul?
know he deals in
I
cards. He
mean,
doesn't
it
deal in
doesn't hurt
souls,
to
as far as
ask.
I know.
Doesn't hurt to ask unless it hurts to ask. Does it hurt to ask?
Well,
It shouldn't, right? Because you're like friends with him and he's real
I don't
nice
know
to
how to
you.
ask such a
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
He doesn't
Curiosity?
tell me how to
Yeah.
ask it. It just gives me an excuse to do so.
I don't know. I'm an idiot. Especially since I feel like, the stuff.
To make you feel a little better, that knowledge that I have, I had to pick up on the fly in battles, in conversations, in whatever information I was able to glean from other mages when we were not rushing from one disaster to another. So in my case, it was very much learn or die.
Please remind me never to go to Dublin.
Uh, I almost hope that Octavius' theory is correct and that I am actually Damian of this dimension, because then the chances would be at least reasonably good that Dublin wouldn't be quite the disaster zone that I experienced it to be. But yes, mate. I'll remind you, or put it that way.
Mm.
I'll go scout ahead before I suggest going there. That's for sure. How does that?
Uh,
Yeah, but you
that's really
said
nice.
that
Be-
okay. So you know demons and vampires and things like that because you saw them in Dublin, right? So you told me the other day that the
Yes.
fallen thing is not exactly a demon, right?
A fallen angel is not the same as a demon. If they turn bad, then they are a devil. Big difference. Big difference, by the way, between a devil and a demon.
Okay, so
I
so,
had to
so
learn it the
what is
hard way.
Tarn then?
A
I
fallen angel.
haven't met. Yeah, if he's a fallen angel, he's a fallen angel. If he behaves nicely around, or at least like a human around people, and isn't going around doing horrible deals and trying to get their souls, he's just a fallen angel. If he
It
would be
just shows.
trying to get the souls of humans and other similar beings, then he would be a devil and a problem.
It just. It just shows people how to do card tricks. He showed me a magic trick. He said that he
Hmm.
taught Matthias how to do magic tricks, like sleight of hand, not
That's
like
fine.
like
Fine
us.
so
Well, he helped me
far.
try to sneak up on the creepy chick, but I kind of failed.
Yeah. So clear,
He
just
also
between the three of us. Since you have described him to me the way you do, I am like 99% sure that he's just a fallen angel. And in that case, especially when we're around mixed company, if we refer to him, let's not refer to him as a demon because demons are bad news and, as far as I
the
know, can never be redeemed.
the only
They
one
tend to be purely destructive.
the only one who's ever called him a demon was Mina.
Ah, well, she might have got her terminology mixed up. Some mages are not too precise with the words they say.
Plus, Darren also
Yeah.
helped us with the house.
Yeah, with all due respect, the devil
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
do
I mean, he
that.
couldn't come in the house, but he was outside the house helping.
There he was, helping, and I take it nobody has discovered him having a giant stash of souls somewhere in his basement or something like that.
Is that how you actually stash souls?
There are multiple ways. I was going more for the dramatic at this point.
Yeah. Uh,
But yes, in the worst case, souls can be put into specific kinds of vessels,
well, that's a very
Well,
and
creepy thought.
in any case,
yes,
I will have to
yes,
stick with him because
it
I'm
is.
kind of worried because of Mina and because of that other vampire at the park.
I would trust at the very least that that vampire knows the difference between a
Well,
demon
I
and a
don't
devil
know.
and a fallen angel. And if not, I personally will stand in his way and correct
Well,
him.
yeah, but well, I have to.
I am not afraid to
Well,
fight
I know that
vampires if need
I
be.
haven't,
I've dealt with
but
worse before.
but I know that I have to speak with Taryn about this and see if my worrying has any, merit.
Maybe, maybe tell him about Mina, but like leave us out of it.
Why would he
Yeah,
mention you guys? You didn't threaten him.
just to be on the safe side. We just wanted to be
Well,
clear.
there's no point of me
Yeah.
mentioning you because you haven't been like threatening about him. But Mina was mean.
If me, I think Mina was around when somebody said, he's a demon. At which point, even my gut reaction would be punch it in the face. I'm pretty sure it's a bad case of a misunderstanding.
Well,
Hopefully.
But that's why
So
that's why I'm so insistent on you guys learning the proper terminology, learning
so
the proper words, so that you can
when
also properly identify what you're dealing with. Because
when we
knowing is
had the
half the
talk,
battle.
I always refer to him as the fallen angel, even though she kept calling him a demon. When we talked, uh, Mina, Octavia, and I also never gave
Well,
her the
good.
description or the name of
Well,
Terran,
good, good. Cause
just
I
that
don't know. I think she's
him,
dangerous,
or
and I don't trust her. I think she's just. I just think
I
she's
just I just
prejudiced.
called him him.
That's. Mm.
Oh, that could well be. That could be, or could not be. It's a little bit early days at this point to try and jump to a conclusion. After all, assumptions make an
No,
ass
I
of you
don't
and
like what
me.
she told me at the park. It's like I think she thinks I'm stupid or something, or that I'm naive, and I think that he's good while he's not. But I don't get any gut feelings about him, so. Mm,
Not not to put a too fine a point on it, but before I knew what problems you are struggling with, I had the impression that I had a similar impression. I know it now better, and I'm happy for it. But there is
yeah,
no
it's
point in me
fine.
lying to you. In the beginning, I just thought you were some weird, crazy lady who
Well,
enjoyed
yeah,
poking
I'm sorry
strangers with a
about
stick.
that. I'm just.
Now I know better.
Well, yeah.
It's fine. As I said earlier this evening, I've forgiven you.
Well,
It's
well,
fine. It's fine.
well.
As
Here's the
weird as it
thing:
sounds, I just
if I
want to
ever
help
fall
you.
off the
I want
sky,
to help you
you
consolidate
have the right
yourself.
to poke me with a stick. Okay? I hope I never fall off the sky though, cause that sounds scary.
It is. I and in the moments that I show bravery, doesn't mean that I'm not afraid
Oh
inside.
yeah, I know.
The secret of being brave is, although, sorry, yeah,
I
I've
know,
probably
but
given you
you were
guys that
like
speech
really
before.
scared earlier with Octavia. Yeah,
It
it kind of
I
freaked me
hadn't
out.
considered the
Yeah, it freaked me
possibility,
out
and it
too, but
freaked me
yeah.
out.
At least you're okay now.
Well, yeah, it threw into question everything that I understand as me. You know, I wasn't sure
Yeah,
at
and I
that
was
point, am
questioning,
I?
am I real?
You
Or
know,
am I just, a figment of someone's imagination while they're dead or something? And that doesn't make really sense, so I guess, yeah.
yeah. Cognito ergo sum.
Yeah.
I think, for there I am. And I'm definitely thinking. So much thinking. What I said before, the whole thing is, when I had telephoned with Dahlia, she herself uh, has offered to do the whole initiation ritual. That's why I'm sort of on the fence. But I also hear you. I hear you, Clea, and that's a good point you bring up. I have
Yeah,
to
I'll
go for
figure
what
it
is
out. I
good for
mean, and
myself, and
if Dahlia really cares, she won't be too mad about it if what's best for you is something else. Like, for real.
mind you, if okay, let's be hypothetical, and I go through and I don't let myself be initiated into the verbena, and I go for the Order of Hermes. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't be more than happy to help them when they need it. They could call upon my help when they need it, or heck, I'd be even more than happy to cast them a whole pantheon of whatever gods they would like, and I will give it my best, and support them as I can. They
Well, as far as I've
they were
seen,
kind to
Basically,
me.
Yeah, you're
Basically,
pretty
what we're doing
friendly
now.
with the
Yeah.
Hermie people.
Heck, if she would want a sign that I mean it really, I'd be willing to bring a certain type of sacrifice. But
What
but
if
yeah.
she asks for
This
okay,
reminds
what
me
if
of a
she asks for
tarot
something
session I once had.
else? Like the breast milk?
What do you mean? Um,
I don't
huh?
think she does. I don't think she would want to see him, and so
I
yeah.
think she would want to, but I
Well, you
can't
have to
believe I'm
be
even
open for
saying this.
possibilities because it's possible.
To be fair, if she would like some semen because it's potent in life energy, and she would need a quote unquote donor for that,
But it's
Oh
really
my
I
weird.
could think
god!
of worse. It'd be
I
weird
knew
as
it.
hell.
Why
What?
would you even ask,
Oh come
Leah?
on!
It's really weird.
What? It's funny.
What? Huh? I don't get it. I was actually being very earnest here, but if you just want to make fun of it, then go ahead,
It's
see if
just
I
Leah
care.
being Leah.
Whatever. You know. Oh
I'm
no,
not into her
no,
if
no,
that's what you were
no.
trying to intimate.
I don't think you're
She's
her
not my
type
type.
either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not her
Yeah, I
type,
think her
and
type is
that's
more
probably
big,
good that way.
horny, and blue.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go upstairs now. Goodbye.
It's
Yeah,
fine. And Jesse,
yeah.
I hope that I'm not making your anxiety worse.
No,
It's
it's fine.
probably a bit hard for me to properly empathize just because I've been through so much shit.
Yeah, it's just really weird, you know. Like one moment you think that
The world is
there's
fine, and
yeah,
the next moment everything you think you know is upside down, broken to
you're
bits, and you stand there and have to and you're forced to make sense
it's
of
like
of
someone. It's like you lived through your whole life with Vaseline over your eyes, and
What do you
someone
yes,
what
removed
do you
it.
mean
Now you can
Vaseline
see
over your
everything.
eyes?
yes. Using it as a metaphor. I don't think that
That's a
he
weird
genuinely means
metaphor.
putting Vaseline on
Oh,
blood.
like okay, look, let me change the metaphor. It's like living with your glasses all foggy
Yeah,
until
I
someone.
guess so.
Okay, are you happy now?
Oh, I've seen many people that have foggy glasses.
but
I think that
yes,
this could be
I
similar for
agree.
a bit.
That was
Yeah,
my
but you can't
experience too.
see.
Suddenly seeing the world for what it is and not for what you thought it was. It is
Well,
scary. I won't lie. But you also have us around,
Yeah,
and
to be
I'm
fair, I
I'll
really
don't
do my
grateful
know
for
how I
that.
saw
campus
the
to have
world
you back.
before, so I don't really have a comparison place here, but
Yeah, you definitely have a very special set of situations.
yeah.
Yours is a whole different kettle of fish. But
Anyway,
I'll be
I think
damned. Yeah.
I'll go take a
Sorry,
nap.
you wanted to go.
Yeah, I think I'll go before you guys start talking about semen and like
We
blue
already
Yeah,
horny
got
horny
that. It's
trolls
done.
or
It's
something.
over. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm still leaving. I just know for some reason you're gonna start talking about poop next.
no, we are not going to talk about that. And he gives Clear like the deadliest of looks, like, don't you dare.
Whatever.
Anyway, I'm
Who
gonna
pooped
go
in your
upstairs and
lake,
like take a
man?
nap.
Sleep well.
Okay, I'm gonna go and do these equations. Uh, well, if you wanna learn physics, I guess you can watch, but
I'll.
don't expect me to explain it to you because I suck at explaining.
And it's high time for me to go to
Just
Dahlia
don't
and give her
die,
the
okay?
information. Uh, well, I will be. By the way, how is my cloak coming
Uh,
along?
I have to make the thing in the sanctum. We can do this. Yeah, we can do it
Gotcha.
tomorrow in the morning if you want, and I'll
Nah,
do that. But yeah, if you feel
I'd love
like you're
to.
dying or
In
something,
my yeah.
well, give me a call and I'll come get you. Okay?
I'll try my best not to. And hey, at the very least, I'm able to heal myself in just a sec. What's that? Ah, sorry. He looks away from his cell phone. Thought somebody sent me a message. But yeah, in my experience, it never hurts to have some empowered clothing. You know, that how should I say,
Yeah.
when the lion bites, that extra piece of armor just might say stop the tooth from boring
Agreed.
itself into your chest. So sometimes the little things help, but I'll be taking Coward's Bane with me. So at the very least, I'll be hard to kill, and I'll and I'll make them
Okay,
pay
let's
dearly.
hope it doesn't come to that. So, yeah.
However, I'll order a taxi, so the faster I am, the less likely it
Okay,
is that I'll
okay.
be
But
intercepted.
call me if anything goes sideways, okay? Okay.
Definitely, definitely.
Before you go, do you want to take my car?
I'm a pretty good driver, so yes, please.
Here you go. Don't worry about crashing it or anything. I'll just.
I'll only do that if I see no other option. You have my word of honor on it.
But yeah, don't worry about it if that comes to that. It should be fine.
I remember how it used to be to actually have like good amount of cash. Oh, yep. But I'll take care of that. Yes. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Cleia. And as cheesy as it sounds, I genuinely love you guys. Like like
Why
brother and
are you
sister.
like talking like
Yeah,
you're going
don't
to
die,
die?
okay? And Cleo will
Don't
give
don't do
Damian
that.
a hug.
Thank you. Ah, I'll explain that another time. But yes, until we see, yeah. You
Yeah,
know what?
see
I
you
will not say
later.
goodbye because to me it always sounded like saying, goodbye forever. But I'll say auf Wiedersehen, which
Yeah.
means to see each other
Later,
again.
alligator.
He smiles and he leaves.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna go and do these equations now.
I'm
That
gonna go
sounds
take
good.
a nap.
Okay.
He's
Good
just
night,
gonna walk
everyone.
off.
And I think it's a good time to, you know, end it all. Thank you, players, for playing and
Hmm.
watchers for watching. This
Yes.
has been another scene of Orlando Ascended. We'll see you all next time.